Hello, welcome to Chatbots for Coaches. My name is Ana Andrea, your host, and today we have a special treat for you. We're going to take you through a journey where you're going to get high quality leads and engage prospects to feed that pipeline even in times of crisis. Today I have an expert on this topic. She's going to explain a little bit more, and her name is Emma Hammond, and she's going to tell us how she got started in marketing and why chatbots, right? Why do we use them in our marketing strategies? Welcome, Emma. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, thank you. Great to be here. So a little bit about me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a single mom, live in Jersey, and I have a little boy. He's 4 now. So I started off in marketing after he was born. I had to go back to work full time. So he was like 12 weeks old. I had to go to work full time. I was an insurance broker. And it was a horrible experience, really, having to leave my baby. I had to stop breastfeeding, had to just go to work and leave him every single day. So it was around that time they actually started looking into marketing, direct sales, trying to build businesses online. And then I became a single mother. So that was very tough. I became a single mother when he was like 5 months old. So I had to find a way very quickly to earn an income online because I couldn't juggle all these. I was trying to look after a baby, pay my own rent. I had 2 different jobs, and I was trying to run a business online as well at the same time. I launched my own coaching business. But I was run off my feet, absolutely run off my feet. I was trying to do everything myself, all my marketing, all my admin work. When you're just like, you're stubborn and you're like, I'm going to do this all by myself and I'm going to do it all by hand.
Guilty.
Yeah, I'm going to do it all by myself. Don't need any help. I'm just going to figure it all out. And I was burnt out. I was absolutely worn out. I got to one point where I got Bell's palsy. So actually my body started to shut down and started to go, no, stop. And half of my body was paralyzed. So the whole right-hand side of my body was paralyzed. And I couldn't work or do anything for 2 or 3 months. Whilst I recovered, I had to have brain scans to check that there was nothing serious. It wasn't anything serious, but it still took me a while to kind of recover and for my face to get back to normal. And that was a wake-up call. That was like, Emma, you need to find a simpler way to do this. And that's when I discovered chatbots and the kind of automated tools to help me with my marketing. I started kind of just obsessively hunting for any way that I could simplify what I was doing and automate my processes, and started using ManyChat, and then I absolutely fell in love with it. I was like, wow, I can message all these people automatically at the same time, because I was messaging everyone individually, like all my prospects. My inbox was just like crazy, and I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely incredible. I can do this to everyone all at the same time, and I don't actually have to be here. So yeah, I started implementing that into my business, discovered the amazing effects that it had implementing automation. And then I did really well. My business grew very quickly, and I managed to leave my job. So I left my job and went fully self-employed. And then decided that I was going to kind of switch my business up to start teaching people the exact tools that I had used and the strategies that I had used to launch and grow my business.
Wow, that's an amazing story. I can relate so much to that because bots also helped me out when I almost died in 2018.
Yeah.
Like, it kept my business running. It kept answering my messages without me having to be there, which is like such a help when you're doing everything. Like I get it. Yeah. So tell us, Emma, you have these strategies, right? You're working, and there are a lot of ways that we could use this, right? So what is your favorite, and why should coaches be, using the bot? Because I have a lot of them like, oh, I'm not ready to add the bot to my strategies. And I'm like, what? it's gonna like leverage, right? It's complete leverage. That's what the dream is. And they're still like doubting that. So tell us about your favorite tool and like the results you've gotten with it, like the favorite strategy. I mean, not tool.
Yeah, my favorite strategy is challenges, which is what I'm going to be covering today. And I use this with every single one of my clients. All my clients are all coaches and consultants as well. So they come to me, and a lot of them are probably, they're kind of in the early-ish stages of their business still. So they're still like earning less than 10 grand a month usually. My clients, between like 5 to 10 grand. So they're not at the stage where they actually want to start running paid ads yet. So this is a great strategy to actually run organically. You see lots of people running them. The difference is when you actually add the chatbots in, is people actually read their messenger messages, whereas not that many people read their emails when you're trying to launch a challenge. So although I don't ever say to completely replace it and get rid of email, they do add something in. It's all part of the big goal and part of the overall strategy. But it's nearly impossible for a person to ignore an inbox message. And they've got that little red number showing up on their phone, and it shows that they've got messages that haven't been read.
Gotta click it. Got it.
So yeah, adding the chatbot element to the challenges, which is a really effective strategy anyway. Lots of coaches are using, especially organically. I found that it like doubles the amount of revenue that you can make in most cases, because the chatbot actually increases engagement. So what the chatbot does is not to sell. We don't use them to sell, but to actually increase engagement. So to get people, take them on a journey, give them all the information that they need, and to actually keep them accountable and get them actually showing up to the challenge, because you're not going to make any money in your challenges if no one is engaging and no one is actually turning up every single day. So the chatbot really, really boosts engagement. I mean, we noticed like a 75% increase in engagement in a challenge with a client. They never used them before and they started implementing them. There was like a 75% increase in engagement from their previous one, which is just
a no-brainer.
Yeah, no brainer.
It's a no-brainer to add it. I know all these amazing people in our community, the experts, how they've helped so many double their income, and just by sending an extra message. And people are super thankful about it, because personally, when I join a challenge, if they're not sending emails right on the time that I forget. I have other stuff to do and I get distracted. And
everyone does.
And the messenger is just like book there, or that's SMS, right? And it's easier to read and digest. So I got a question about this, because we haven't touched this in depth with the messages. You know that there's a person obviously behind the bot, right?
Yeah.
And in conversation marketing, there's a back and forth. With email, it's really hard for them to like reply to you. They will, some will, but it's very like minimal. But with Messenger, they reply, right? So doing those challenges, I know that it's not just like sending a blob of message, right? Because I've gotten those. They're so annoying.
Yeah, they are really irritating.
So what would you recommend for them to make it digestible, so like they understand the psychology behind this? Because we gotta have conversations, not like slaps of information.
I mean, I like to build out my flows where I'm actually asking them questions and it takes them on a journey. So you have a small part of text and then you say, what do you think about this? Or, what would you like my money? Would you love to have a 20 grand launch yourself? Yes, no, yes. And takes them to, a different flow. No takes them to a different flow. And they actually create their own little story, their own little journey, depending on what they reply with. So I love building that out in my chatbots and having different scenarios and ways that you can take people through, depending on. It makes the whole experience a lot more user-friendly and a lot more engaging and a lot more entertaining, rather than just banging out lots of blocks of information that people probably don't read.
I literally got 2 this morning, so I'm like, Guys, make me engage. I'm like, okay.
I want to press a button.
I want to
do
press it, but it's
something.
so annoying that I have so much to read. Like so crazy. Anyway, so how do we structure all this, right? You have that you said you were gonna like get into
Yeah, I've got some slides. I've got some presentation slides, so I'm
okay.
going to kind of talk you through
Okay.
a training of, you know, how to come up with ideas for your challenge, how to structure your challenge, and what kind of other elements you need to have in place before you start running one as well, and where the chatbot element comes into it, and then I'll show you how to set that up.
Awesome. I think we could get started with that. I mean, I know a lot of my clients are here excited about your training because I've been telling them. So let's dive in.
We will. So I
Oh
will just
wait,
share
I
my.
think I need to give you
I
um,
think.
sharing. Okay, privileges.
Okay, brilliant. And then I can share my screen.
Little Zoom did a lot of security measures.
Okay, so I've got my slides up.
Awesome.
Copy over there in the corner. Okay, so yeah, how to run a Facebook challenge launch with a chatbot. So I don't know if it'd be handy for you to actually have the slides as well afterwards if anyone needs to refer back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can link them below. That's awesome.
Okay, so yeah, firstly, why challenges? Lots of people and lots of coaches that I speak to, when they first hear challenges, they kind of go, but it seems like a lot of work. There's a lot of work. I don't want to have to turn up every single day and go live every single day. I just want to produce one piece of content and to generate loads of leads and have everyone come into my funnel and not have to put the work in. But although there is a lot of work that goes into preparation for a challenge, actually, when you are running it, if you're fully prepared, that it can actually run very simply. And you can, even if you want to, run the whole challenge automatically without ever even having to turn up live. So there were a few ways to do it. But I mean, like infographics, ebooks, yeah, they can be a great lead generation tool, but it's really difficult to stand out with them kind of lead magnets. Everyone has an ebook. Everybody has one. So you would really want to stand out. Running challenges actually gets your ideal clients engaged. So it gets them engaged in the whole process and gives them a perfect glimpse of what it's going to be like to work with you on a one-to-one basis. That you can only get that kind of experience with your leads when you're running a challenge. Because you've got everyone all together in one community, and the more that as well, the more that your prospects engage with each other and the more social proof they kind of see throughout the challenge, the more likely you are to generate them high figure launches than running a a masterclass or a webinar or having an ebook or some other lead magnets that there are out there. So although there is a lot of prep work to put in, this is actually one of the simplest ways to generate a 20K plus launch in one go, because it builds up this incredible momentum. And it's always also great when you're launching a specific product or a service that is launching on a specific date. So if you're launching a course on a specific date, or you're launching a group program or something like that for your coaching clients. So what we do a lot with my clients is that they will be planning a group program. They'll be starting a group program. So we will launch the challenge, run the challenge, and they onboard people onto their programs that they would then start in a week or two, whatever their process. Like I said before, you can actually automate most of it, which gives you more time to actually show up in your group and then also to show up for your clients in the way that you want to, because you don't have to use chatbots and everything's all prepared and everything's all flowing. Once you've created your challenge structure, the content can be used every single time throughout the year. So you can run one every 2 months. And that can just be your main lead generation strategy. If you nail the challenge, you do not need to have any other lead generation strategy at all. If you nail this and you provide an amazing challenge that your ideal clients will love, all you need to do is run one every 2 months or every 3 months, and to use that to actually bring people into the rest of your funnel and to start taking them up the rest of your products. So the process. So what exactly should you cover in your challenge? What should you talk about, and what should you give to your ideal clients? So this is what I kind of go through with my clients. Deciding on the topic for your challenge is deciding on what is the transformation or the end result people will achieve after they've completed the challenge. So I always tell people to reverse engineer and to actually work out how they want people to leave at the end of it. So what result they want them to have at the end of the challenge. And then break that down into different stages or different steps, so you can create a topic for each day of what you're going to cover throughout your challenge. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought then. Planning the my mind just went blank, and I've got the slides right in front of me.
That's fine. It happens to all of them.
And planning the structure of your challenge. How's it going to be? What content at what times? So this is what I'm going to be covering as well throughout a bit. You then, so and basically you need to break it down into different stages so that you know your topic for each day. Then you're going to have to structure out your challenge. So you need to be deciding exactly how it's going to be delivered. So are you going to be doing a live video, or are you going to be having a recorded video with a task every single day? Decide what content you're going to post at what times, what you're actually going to upsell, which is the most important part of the challenge. I know lots of people that kind of leave that bit out, or it's a little bit foggy, and they're not very fierce with the actual selling throughout the challenge, and of course they don't get the results that they want. So that's really important, having it mapped out what your offer is going to be and what you're going to sell during the challenge, and also when you're going to start promoting. So things that you need to kind of have in place as well. Creating content, which will be, this is really basic. Mostly I advise clients to have an image and a written post for every single day throughout their challenge in their group, and either have a video or a live that they run every day, and then possibly they might want to have a workbook that they give to everyone that they fill out for the week as well. Although it's not really a requirement, it does add something extra and makes people stand out though. And then you need to have your challenge funnel in place. So you can run it with just a chatbot if you want, or you could have an email. So if you've got an email service provider as well, you can link them up and make sure that everything is connected together. And then plan your strategy to promote your challenge. So that's deciding kind of what, exactly how you're going to promote your challenge when that's planned. Your social media content, your email campaigns, your Facebook ads, stuff like that. It's actually pretty simple to promote your challenge because everyone should be posting marketing content online every single day anyway, to increase the visibility and continue building your brand and awareness of who you are. So it's very much just a matter of changing the call to action for the 2 to 3 weeks prior to running your challenge, so that you're actually driving people to register for it. How to decide on your challenge topic. So this should be the end result that someone will achieve from completing your challenge, and should solve one of your ideal clients' problems at the start of their journey with you. And this is kind of the bit that people get wrong sometimes when they're running challenges. They try and kind of think what their ideal clients need rather than kind of asking them. And they also help them solve a problem that it's the wrong stage of their journey with them. So you don't want to, this should really be the start of your funnel. So you want to try and solve the problem that your ideal clients have right now, not the one that they would have on the further part of their journey with you. So like, as an example, you know, someone's got a headache, as an example, you know, they just want to fix their headache. They just want to fix their headache. They just want a pill. You can't start marketing to them and trying to tell them that they need to work on their nutrition. They need to drink more water. They need to do all these other things because they don't care. They just want to fix their headache. And you have to focus on fixing the problem that's right at the start of their journey with you, and not something that's moved on. So that is where people can go wrong with challenges. Also, don't try to solve all of their problems in one go, because you're just going to overwhelm them. You just want to give them a quick win, something within that week, a very quick win that they can see straight away, they can action straight away into their businesses. And obviously focus on what they want, not what they need, because what they actually need is completely different than what they actually want. They want to fix their headache, but what they actually need is to drink more water, as an example. Just example, so if I was going to run a challenge for coaches and consultants, want a simple strategy to generate a 20K in a launch. So I would give them a simple strategy of how to use chatbots and automation to launch through challenges. That's what they want. I don't teach them what they actually need to do. So if I was running my challenge, I wouldn't actually show them step by step how to actually build out the whole chatbot, for example, because that is a little bit further on than what they are in their journey. They want to know now a strategy of how they can actually generate 20K launches. But if you give them everything all in one go, that's just going to completely overwhelm them. If I started teaching people in my challenge how to build a chatbot, how to create an email sequence, and how to do all this stuff, they're just going to get incredibly overwhelmed. So you just want to work on giving them simple strategies, kind of giving them the know-how, what they need to know right now in order to see that you are the person to actually work with and that can help them through the rest of their journey.
Right.
I might end up going on quite a bit. Too much value.
So much. That's great.
So when you've actually decided at the end result, so what people are going to get at the end of running the challenge, you then need to decide how you're going to market it to your audience. So this is a really simple way I work with my clients. So taking them from where they are now to where they want to be at the end of the challenge. So as an example, from confused to clarity, from overwhelm to action. So kind of hitting on a point of where your ideal clients are right now, and then painting a picture of where you're going to be taking them at the end of that 5 days. And naming it in a specific way so that you can market it so that they understand the end result. So I run a challenge called Automate to Impact the Simple 20K Launch Strategy. And that speaks exactly to my ideal clients about the end result that they are going to achieve, which is financial freedom so that they can create more impact. So you have to think specifically of your ideal clients and what it is that they really want, and then put that in your title so they understand exactly what they're going to get out of the challenge and why they should do it in the first place. And then obviously break that down into stages. 5-day challenges work the best. I have seen 3-day ones run, but if you can run a 5-day challenge, because I've tested lots of different ways and lots of different structures, and 5 days, normally Monday to Friday, is actually the best, the optimum time, because that's enough time for people to actually gain trust in you, and so that they can actually learn enough and start implementing something straight away. Then obviously writing down each stage and step that you'll be covering for each day, and breaking that into simple tasks that you can give your ideal clients so that they can implement that each day and they can achieve results by the end of the challenge. Keep your challenge fun and engaging. There's nothing worse than a boring challenge. Try and make it entertaining and a little bit different. I've seen people run themes, so different themes, like Harry Potter theme, or Star Wars theme, or trying to think of something that makes it a little bit fun and different from everybody else. So here's like the structure of the challenge. So these are really the basics you need and how you're going to have it structured. Facebook group is incredibly important to be able to run your challenge. If you haven't got a Facebook group or a Facebook community, then you should have. But you will need one to have a challenge in place. So running one in your Facebook group. And I've seen it run a few different ways, but I would recommend actually using your main group and not creating a pop-up group just for your challenge, because it actually generates even more engagement. It's a great way to revive an old group as well. So if you've got a group where not many people are actually engaging in it, sometimes you can have groups with a couple of thousand people in them, but you're not actually generating that much engagement. So running a challenge is a great way to actually boost it and start getting all the members that have been in there for a while to get engaging, because they see all the excitement. They see, oh, there's a challenge going on, and lots of people are commenting, showing up in their feed. So I definitely recommend running in your main group rather than creating a pop-up group specifically for the challenge. And obviously ensuring that your leads get in the group and that they need to be in the group in order to take part in the challenge. When you actually launch your challenge, so when it's challenge week, I'd recommend having an announcement post at the top of your group, which includes the end result that they're going to achieve, break down how the challenge is structured, what's going to happen at what times and what days, and any rules that need to be aware of for the duration of the challenge. That's great actually having it pinned at the top, because otherwise you get people asking you a million questions. Even if you've sent all the information in the chatbot and the email address and you posted it everywhere, you're still going to get people asking you loads of questions.
Always. Always.
It's important to have that there. And then you can either pre-create a video for each day. So if you want to completely automate your challenge, you can already create the content for it. So you can either create a video for each day, or you can actually go live in your group, running through the topic or the step or the task that people need to complete that day. Each day, give a brief overview of the whole challenge. So cover what that step is that day. Oh God, my water just fell on my lap. Bear with me. Yeah, so brief overview of the whole challenge, recap what the step is for that day and why it's important to implement that step and what will happen if they don't implement it. And then give an example of when you or a client implemented this effectively. So that's kind of how I tell people what to cover in their lives when they're actually talking through the challenge. You want to make people understand kind of why it's important that they actually implement that, what's going to happen if they don't implement it, and then provide them with some social proof of why it's really important that that specific task or that stage or what you're teaching on that day is implemented. So that's a great method to actually get people to do what it is that you want them to do on that day of the challenge. Because if they don't understand why it's important or what they're actually going to get out of it or what the results are going to be, then you might get people slacking off and not actually taking part of the challenge.
That's a great tip.
Yeah. Another one that I found is when you're actually running your challenge, people go live directly in the group. Now, if you actually run your live on your business page, it means that there is shareable content that people can share. So you can even ask people to share it if you wanted to as well. Obviously, you can need to make sure that people have to be in your group in order so that they can actually get feedback, take part, join in the posts, etc. But you can actually stream your videos, your live content directly onto your business page. So it means it's shareable. It increases visibility on your business page, boosts your business page immensely whilst you're running a challenge. So you're not just building up your group, you're actually growing your business page and your visibility as well. And you can actually put in the written content on your live on your business page with a link. So if anyone's watching it and they're not actually in the chatbot or they haven't opted in for the challenge, with a link to say, if you want to register yourself, you can click here to join and become part of the group so that you can get some feedback on it. You can use tools like BeLive or StreamYard or Anycam or one of the other streaming tools, and you can actually stream it live if you wanted in your group and on your business page at the exact same time. So you can stream live in them. That is, yeah, when I did that, I actually did it on my personal profile. So I actually did all my live videos on my personal profile, and the engagement was just absolutely crazy. So many new people see, oh, what's going on over here? And so many new people even join my group mid-challenge because they were seeing all this content being shared everywhere.
Nice.
That is really something that's going to help you stand out from everybody else that is running challenges, because there are not many people that are doing that other than my clients, probably. Yes, so is there, have a think about if there's anything that you want people to write down for each day or an activity to complete. And then if there is, then you may want to create a workbook to go along with your challenge with an actual fillable PDF. So if you're actually giving people tasks each day where they actually have to go away and journal or they have to write something down, I would recommend creating a nice little PDF for them, just to add that extra touch, and you can send that to your send that out in your chatbot the day before the challenge. Then have a daily post in your group which covers the tasks for the day in written content, and also acts as an accountability post for people to actually post that they have done it, and also so that they can get any feedback from you. An added extra during your challenge is you may want to run a daily live Q&A session in your group as well. So you can actually cover your task earlier in the day and then do like a live Q&A session in the evening. I've got one of my clients that does a live Q&A at every like 8 p.m. every night during the challenge, just so that people can ask questions directly to them. That's something extra. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it does help increase engagement and give that extra bonus. And then I'm just going to cover the kind of automation elements that you need to run your challenge. So all the elements that you have to have in place for your funnel and to run this for your group. So obviously your chatbot funnel, which is the most important part, of course, because that's what we're talking about, where people will opt in to the chatbot link to sign up to your challenge. You can then actually get people, you can grab people's email addresses within the chatbot. So this is the way that I would recommend that people do it. And there's a few different ways that you can do it, but I would get them to sign up and go straight into the chatbot. So rather than get them to fill in their email address, add their name, send them an email, and have the email with the link for the chatbot to join, we've tested it a lot with my clients both ways, and you actually get more people signed up to your challenge and more people on your lives and participating if you have people sign up to your chatbot first, then capture their email addresses, and then they also get added onto your email list. So your chatbot can onboard people into your challenge, give them everything that they need, drive them over to your group, tell them what to expect, the rules, the structure, etc. And then you just need to plan out your daily chatbot broadcast. So I'd recommend these like one, probably 2 days before the challenge starts, 24 hours as a reminder that it's about to start. And then obviously your message is each day throughout the challenge. So when there's a task available, when you're about to go live, or there's a video, let people know what's going to be covered that day in your challenge. And also I'd send them a recap message as well later in the day with the video replay or the live replay or whatever it is that you've done during the day as well, and any tasks that you want them to complete. And then you can also have daily emails going out to your list. So if you've subscribed people to a mailing list as well, you can have daily emails going out to your list covering similar information as well as what will be in your chatbots. And this is my last slide. So I'm just going to cover about promoting. So promoting within your challenge. I would recommend that if you're going to be running a challenge, that you start promoting your offer mid-challenge. Do not wait until day 5 and then say, oh, by the way, I'm launching a group program. You want to be talking about it pretty much the whole way through the challenge if you want to make some money, because people flake off during the challenge. You'll start getting to, like, say you're running it on Monday, you'll start getting to a Wednesday and people will start to drop off. They will start to drop off. So start promoting on the Wednesday, every single time you run a live or a video talking about your offering or whatever it is that you're promoting at the end of every single live, every single Q&A, and also putting posts up within your group from the Wednesday. So you should really have a full-on promotion strategy from mid-challenge when that's running, whilst you've got everyone's attention still in there in your group. And so mentioning your products, a call to action every single video or live, and then sending them to a sales page or to book a call with you, whatever your strategy is. Shouldn't be running promotions within your chatbot unless you're running paid sponsored messages. So the chatbot isn't about the promotion really. When we run challenges, it's about getting people engaged and getting them active. So the promotion should be within your emails and should be in your group. So in your group consistently throughout from Wednesday onwards. And that's pretty much it. So do you want me to do a live demo?
That would be awesome. I do have a question.
Yes.
When it comes to the setting up the messages before the challenge starts and during the challenge starts, we tag them all with the event reminder, right?
Yes. So
okay.
This one's a confirmed event reminder.
Yes. If we want to, we can add the OTN, which is the one-time notification. It's not like necessary, but you could still use it.
Yeah, you can. To be honest, I don't use it with any of my clients because we don't need to. We just tend to use the event reminder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend using just the event reminder tag. And then if you do want to do something that's slightly promotional, run a sponsor message to everyone. That's
To cover your back. Yeah, that's
yeah.
good. Yeah, because the event tag has to be up to the end of the event. Then after that, we can't use it, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So that's why I said to people to start promoting their challenge from the Wednesday in their group, because you don't want, you can't keep on sending people messages after the challenge is actually finished. So you need people like engaged. And unless you want to run the paid messages, but again, there's no guarantee of when people will actually receive them. So I say use chatbot to kind of focus on driving engagement and getting people accountable and actually getting them taking part in your challenge, and then the actual group itself and your email marketing promotional campaigns within there.
Awesome. Yeah. Perfect. Wanted to clarify that to make sure, because I know a lot will ask, like, what about the policies, right?
So yeah, that's one I get all the time.
Awesome. So yeah,
keep up to date with that stuff.
Oh yeah, and it's not that complicated. We just got to follow the rules, and then they let us send the messages, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I've had a few people ignore me and not follow the rules or my advice on the rules, and they've had have their pages blocked. So it does happen. You can get your page blocked if someone reports you for sending too many messages, or if you've used the wrong tag, or you're using the wrong tag and just using it to send too many messages out. So yeah, people do get their pages blocked. So
yep,
be careful.
I've seen big pages get shut down. No mercy.
No mercy.
No, social media is not the land of mercy.
It is not. You
Nope.
don't have to build your page up again from scratch.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Definitely
Okay.
not.
So this is behind a ManyChat, right?
Yeah, so this is ManyChat. This is just my demo account. Yeah, so this is a demo account that I've got for trainings. So the first thing that you want to do, I'll just talk through each kind of step and each stage of what I would be doing if I was building one,
Mm-hmm.
is create the opt-in for your challenge. So you want to do that by going on the left-hand side panel and then going to Growth Tools and then clicking on the Growth Tool button. And this actually creates an opt-in for, hang on. Let me just move the thumbnail because that's getting in the way. So new growth tool up here. And the best one for you to use is probably a landing page growth tool. So there's a couple of ways to do it. But if you're going to send people to your chatbot straight away, I would use a landing page growth tool. And then you can create your actual own mini landing page in ManyChat. However, if you do want to use a specific landing page for your, so if you do want to use a specific landing page, you've already got one planned for your challenge that you've run it before, then I would say use that. But for the actual opt-in button, use the URLref growth tool, and then just actually send them to that specific link. So if you're going to use an actual landing page for ManyChat, use the URLref growth tool, which is, I'll show you which one it is before I go into this.
Yeah, make a button right in your page with it.
You can do a couple of different things. So you can use the URLref.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a couple of different ways. Yeah, you can use this one, which is a messenger ref URL, and you can actually just embed that link into a specific button. So say, for example, you had an opt-in button that said, click here to sign up, for example, and you can actually just send them to this specific link. So you can send them to that specific link. Or you can create an actual messenger button on your website by clicking this here. So you would use this button here. But I'm not going to go too in depth, otherwise we'll be here for another hour. If I show you every single one. So I'm just going to stick to actually, yeah, if you want to embed the Facebook Messenger button on your lead page, you would use this. If you already have a sign up button and you just want to send them somewhere, you would use this one, the Messenger ref URL. If you want, create all free. So we're just going to stick with the landing page, which will create you a little landing page. So you stick your headline here, so whatever text you want in here, and whatever text you want in here as well. Make it exciting and enticing and interesting, and let people know exactly why they should sign up to the challenge and what they're going to get from it, you know, what's in it for them. You can edit the text over here. So you've got different colors. You can edit the background color, and you can edit the text as well. So you can put a hex code in, or you can just, so if you've already got a branding color and you know the code for it, you can add that in there, or you can choose any colors, any color that you want. I'd recommend on your landing page adding in a video or an image. And you can do that here. But if you want to add in a video, it has to be a YouTube or Vimeo link, because they're the only ones that will be accepted. And you pop in your link there, or you can add in an image. and place your image wherever you would like to place your image. As me. So add in your image, and this is what it'll look like over here on the right hand side. You can choose where you want your image. So if you want to place it somewhere different, you can select here where it is placed. And when you're happy with that, one thing that I will add as well in this text here, make sure you make it really obvious to people that they have to click the send to messenger button so that they can register. Actually right there, click the send to messenger button below to get registered for the challenge. Otherwise, people will not do that.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell people what to do all the time.
You need to tell them exactly what to do and make it incredibly obvious. We've got to, yeah, make it as simple as possible so that they understand.
Cool.
And change the name of your widget here so that you understand what it is for. And go to next, and this is your thank you page. So you can edit this in exactly the same way that you did the other one. You can choose your colors. If you want to redirect to a specific URL, you can do that here. But if not, if you just want to have this basic thank you page, do that here and change the colors, add in an image, a video, anything that you want, and then go next. I think I'm about to sneeze. One moment. Okay, so now we want to edit our text. So the opt-in text that will actually be sent to people as soon as they click that send to messenger button and they receive the messenger message in their inbox. Save this first. So you click edit here where your opt-in flow is and click on here so that you can add in your own text. So the content type on every single message should be confirmed event update. You can't use any other tags, and all messages that are sent to them within the flow or any broadcast messages have to be in relation to updating them on the challenge, the event. Otherwise it wouldn't be applicable. So usually what I do here is firstly add in an image, add in as many images as you can and GIFs and videos and things like that, just to give your chatbot a personal touch, because I don't like the ones with just text all the time. I find it really boring. You want to add in that personalized element. So if you've got any specific graphics or, you know, nice images of you or marketing images that you can use, then do that. So you just add that in there. And what I would do here, thank you for delete this and write whatever you want in the text here. Thank you for your interest. Challenge. Let them know when you start. So we start on the 11th of May. Something like that. And then what I would do is grab their email addresses and get them subscribed to your email list. Even if you don't want to send daily emails out throughout your challenge, I would still recommend that you grab people's email addresses and get them subscribed to your mailing list as a way to build your list right now. So even if you have no intention of emailing your list, I would definitely recommend that you do this. So you can only do this on Pro. So if you've got the Pro version of ManyChat and the user input button, and this means that you can capture people's email addresses and then send this data to subscribe them to a specific email list. So I would put to complete your registration, please provide us with your email address by tapping the one below or typing in an alternative, something like that. I like emojis. Use lots of emojis with your chatbot. And then what I tend to do is keep the reply type at text and then save response to a custom field. So I have custom fields set up for specific challenges, so that I can add them to specific lists. So I use a tool called Zapier, and then send them to specific lists with different email service providers. There are a few that actually integrate directly with ManyChat. So if you use something like MailChimp, that integrates really well, and you don't actually need to use this. But if you're using different service providers that don't integrate well with ManyChat, you'll need to use Zapier, so that you can send the details or something, not necessarily Zapier. There are a few other different tools that do automated integrations. But what Zapier do is essentially collect the data from your ManyChat flow and then sends it over to a specific email list, your email service provider. So I have custom fields set up for specific challenges, so that I know which one it is and so that I can send it to the relevant email list. And then when somebody signs up to your challenge and types in or taps in, because when they reply type, actually, sorry, change this to email. Did that wrong. So change this to email and yeah, leave that and then save it to a custom field. That's correct. And then what happens is that when they're going through the flow, it'll actually automatically bring up their email address below so they can just tap on it. And if it's not correct, that they can just type in an alternative message, alternative email address. Move me up. I like building out in the flow builder as well. I'm not a fan of the basic builder. There is so much more that you can do. So you've captured people's email addresses. If you are using MailChimp and you have a MailChimp connected to it, you can add them to your list this way by going on Action. And then if you've connected your MailChimp account, it will come up with the MailChimp options here, but I've not connected my MailChimp, but it'll show up in here. So it'll show up in here, it'll say MailChimp options, and you click on it, and then you choose which list that you want it to be added to. But you need to make sure that you have already added your MailChimp account, if you use MailChimp, in the settings and in the integrations beforehand, and then it will come up with that option here, and you can do that. If you use any other email service provider, though, do look into Zapier and a Zap. Too much information for me to give you all, guys, right now. Otherwise, like I said, I will be here for hours showing you how to set up Zaps. That will take a while, so I'll focus on the rest of the chatbot. So I would do continue to another step, and then when they've actually provided that information and they've confirmed their email address, send them another message. Again, confirmed event update with a bit more detail. So something like that's great. This name. You are now registered. Use lots of emojis. Don't have a boring chatbot with no emoji.
Agreed. People who don't use
There is
emojis,
nothing worse than a chatbot message without an emoji in it.
yes. It's like people who don't write with emojis, I don't know how they're feeling.
Yes, we don't. We want the chatbot to be fun.
Yes.
A great idea is to also add as many graphics in as you want. I've got a client that's actually named their chatbot a specific name, and it has its own little persona. And we've actually got a graphic designer to create lots of different graphics for the chatbot, which is this little robot graphic. And he's got things like smiley face, excited face, you know, all things like that. So when they send different messages, we put these graphics into the chatbot as well,
So cool.
which adds all this whole different element of the, you know, the chatbot having its own little persona, and it's quite funny and quirky. So try and bring as much of that as possible into your bots, images, wherever you can, and, you know, try and keep it a little bit entertaining and conversational. Such as here, you know, we've got, you're all registered, and then you might want to have a bit of a delay. I say try and break it up so that you're not providing them with loads of information in one go. And there's also a little bit of a delay as well. We don't just want to like one message after another message after another.
Yeah, like we were saying before, like the block of message, like if it's an email.
Yeah, it's not an email. It's this ManyChat's a conversational tool. So you want to be having conversations with people. So even like giving them options. So you might want to stay here. You might want to go, okay, are you excited? And then, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, I love using emojis in the buttons as well. This adds, you know, something extra. No. I do these with my chatbots, and people click the no, I'm bored one. Just
Oh, they do. You think everybody would be excited after they join something, but no.
And then we can move on. So, okay. And then we can give them more information on the challenge. Okay, great.
Get ready, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, here's what to expect. So this is what's going to happen. We will, you know, this is the day that we're launching. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to learn. Build up a little bit of excitement. So they've got all that information there. And then if they go, no, I'm bored, and you might want to say something like, oh, these are just examples, by the way, guys. I'm sure you can think of something more interesting and exciting. Then I might get quite cheeky with mine and say, I know you're lying. Get ready for the time of your life. There we go. And then you might want to lead that on to the message that gives them a bit more about the challenge. So you might then want to do, another delay, and then give them a bit more information. So, sorry, I shouldn't do that there. Add in another text block. And then say, I don't know, say, okay, so here's what's going to happen. Going to happen, blah, blah, blah. The challenge is going to be so exciting.
Give it some fun, right?
Yeah, fun, build up, let them know what to expect, excite them. Another thing that we need to make sure that we do is drive them over. to wherever you're hosting your challenge, so your group. So you might want to give them a rundown. Okay, well, here's all the steps that you need to take. 1, make sure you've joined the group. 2, make sure you've joined the business page. So you might want to do it at this stage, for example. So you're like, great, here's what's going to happen in the challenge. Make sure you do these things. 1, join my group, etc. 2, like my business page. 3, you should read this specific book before you join the challenge because that's going to help you, or whatever, as an example, whatever the steps are, whatever people need to do. And then you can add in the links by adding the buttons below. So add button, and then join group button, and open website there. And then you put your group link, the URL for your group, in here. Copy and paste it into this bar. Just going to put in a couple of X's for now, because otherwise it will tell me off because I've not put anything in there. So you can add in all your links. You can have up to 3 buttons on any one message. So when you've done that, when you've kind of taken them through the onboarding steps or the onboarding stages of what everyone needs to do in order to get ready and get prepared for your challenge, I would probably send them a follow-up message. What we tend to do is to send testimonials. So because you'll still get people that actually register for the challenge and they'll just be like, you know, kind of meh about it. Lots of people sign up for challenges. They're like, yeah, I'll do that. I think that might help. But then they, you know, they might kind of start thinking, oh, it's not a good idea. Maybe it won't turn up, or they'll forget about it. So I would say send them another like follow-up message. Now we only have 24 hours to message people to be compliant with Facebook messaging rules. So make sure you're sending any follow-up messages within, where is that? It's not, sorry, bear with me, my laptop. So make sure you send in any follow-up messages within 24 hours, because especially this one isn't, I would say send it within 24 hours because it isn't exactly an event reminder. So just to be on the safe side, which you don't want that. You want a delay. So you want a smart delay and then however long you want the delay to be. So say you want to message them 2 hours after they've registered. And then you want to send them a follow-up message. Send message. I like to send, so you can either, I'd still stick with the confirmed event update tag. And add in a gallery. So I like adding in testimonials, like a gallery of testimonials, to try and like encourage people to make sure that they do actually take part in the challenge, so that they can actually see what results that you've had to help people to achieve. So either as a one-to-one client, or if you've ran this specific challenge before, if you've got any testimonials or results from the specific challenge, add as many as you can into your chatbot so that people know what value they're actually going to get from being on the challenge, and that way it's going to encourage them to actually turn up and put the effort and put the work in. So you need to do that in the first stages of onboarding them into your challenge, otherwise you could end up losing them completely, because about 50% of the people that are registered for your challenge probably won't even turn up. So what we want to be doing at this stage is encouraging people and getting them to see exactly why they need to be on. So I would do a gallery and a text one above, probably. So I do a text box with you know, so whatever text you want to put in here. See the incredible, would help if you could spell, doesn't have a V in there. See the incredible results achieved by the first group that took part in my challenge in the gallery below. Emojis. I always put the pointy arrow in mine because there's something psychologically about a finger that points down that makes people know that they have to actually see it or look at it. I add that into my written copy on Facebook posts as well, and it does actually work. So then you can actually add in a gallery. So if you've got screenshots from, so you may, for example, have screenshots of Facebook reviews, comments in Facebook posts from previous challenges, or any, you know, nice positive clips that people have said, and you've screenshotted them, for example. You can upload all of these into a gallery here. Or if you've got individual like videos, for example, on your YouTube, you could add in an image here of the, you know, the person by clicking here to upload an image there of the person that's actually provided the testimonial, their title, subtitle. So you might want to do, see, whatever their name is. Hammond. Whatever your subtitle is, and then you might want to add in a button here saying see more. And then send them to the website link. So if you've got testimonials on YouTube, for example, they can click there and they can go to the unlisted testimonial that you've got on YouTube, or you can actually add it into the card here itself. You can add in a card URL. So, and that means that as soon as someone clicks on it, they will be taken to that page as well. So the few ways you can do it, you can add in screenshots, text testimonials, or add in videos there, and start creating a gallery. So you can keep on going right and then adding more and more in. So if you've got a whole gallery of like 3, 5, or as many testimonials as you've got, keep on adding them in there as well, so that people can see all the wonderful magic and why they should be joining your challenge. So yeah, I think that's it for in terms of the opt-in, and then I can just show you then how to actually create the broadcast, so how to send the daily messages out to people. Make sure that you're always testing your flows. So when you actually think that you're happy with it, make sure you click preview and that you've tested it yourself. So if you click on preview there, it will send you the test message to your Facebook Messenger inbox. So test through it yourself, make sure it's working, make sure it's collecting your email addresses correctly, and it's adding them onto your mailing list. Make sure you've checked all the buttons, they're working, that you've checked all the links, and all the links are correct, and it's taking people to the right places. And then when you're happy, click publish, and that will publish your chatbot. Of course, it's not happy right now because I've not completed it properly. But that is what you will do when you're ready. You will publish it. And then when it starts to become the build up to your challenge, so you have a couple of days before your challenge, for example, you might want to send reminders. Send out reminders, and then you'll want your daily messages to go out for the duration to let people know there's a task available, you're about to go live, what the homework task is for the day on the challenge, and to kind of hold them accountable as well. So you do that by going to broadcasting. So broadcasting, you click broadcasting there, and then new broadcast. So I wouldn't send them too many messages. You might want to send them, depends what you want to do. I would probably recommend about a week before. It depends when you start promoting. So say if you've got a promotion window and you're promoting your challenge for 3 weeks prior to actually starting it, then you might want to send a reminder a week before, one 2 days before, and one 24 hours before, for example, before the challenge actually starts, as a reminder. And to do that, you select the content type is confirmed event update, and then write your message in here. Hey, first name, and that will pull their name through. We start in 7 days. How excited are you? Again, you want to be building up excitement, so that they're getting fun about it, and you might want to drop in some options for them to reply. There you go. Click on button. So excited. Not really. Or whatever options you want to give people. These are just examples. And then you'll want to give them, you know, like a little bit of a rundown maybe. So this is what to expect. This is what's going to be happening during the challenge. This is what you need to have prepared, etc., etc. And then get them, make sure that you're engaging people a little bit as well in the chatbot message. When you're happy with the message, obviously preview it to make sure that everything's okay and everything's working in the chatbot. And then go next. And make sure that you're only messaging the relevant people that have actually registered for your challenge. So the content type for this would be non-promotional or mixed content, message tags applied, because we've applied the relevant tags. And you want to select your targeting. So make sure that you're only targeting people that have actually registered for your chatbot, by using the opted in free widget, and then selecting which widgets that people, you might have a couple, or you might just have one. So you might just have a landing page for your challenge, for example. So you can select exactly who you want the messages to go to on your chatbot. And then you can either start send now. So if you wanted to send a message straight away, you would hit send now, or schedule for later, and you can actually schedule the date and time that you want it to go out to. And you can choose time zone settings, so send all at the same time, or whether we want to limit it, or depending on different people's different time zones. So they're the settings there, and then when you're happy, either click send now, or once you've scheduled it and put in a date and time, it'll say schedule now, and then you click that button to schedule your broadcast message. And that is how you would do all your messages to that specific list, and do them for the duration of your challenge as well. So you want to use the same event reminder tag, and then send people out also daily messages throughout your challenge. I think I've covered everything.
You have.
Have you got questions?
Everything. Thank you so much, Emma. It's been amazing. I know this is so much value for everybody, including myself. I also learned while listening to you.
Good.
I'm always learning. So that's exactly how you do it, basically with the tags, right? So make sure, just emphasize on what Emma said. Make sure the tags are set up correctly, and don't try to fool Facebook, because it cannot.
You can't fool Facebook. They won't be fooled.
You can try, but we'll watch you fail, because we've seen it happen.
You can, but eventually, people they will find out.
Oh yeah, you always get caught basically with online stuff. So it's better to use the tags. That's so much value, Emma. Thank you so much for all that. I know that you have had a couple of rough weeks, and I know that you're passionate about this. So I'm really excited for all of the coaches to go and implement it, right? Because you taught all this not for them to like, oh, that's so nice, right? We want them to go and do the challenges.
Yeah. But also, I've got to bear in mind though that the first time that you run a challenge, you might not get the exact results that you want because you're still refining it and tweaking it. But it can sometimes take running a challenge 2 or 3 times to actually work out what your audience wants and to actually get all the tech right and to get it exactly perfect. Because mistakes can happen and things can go wrong, and you might forget to schedule your broadcast messages in your chatbot, or you might forget to do something. So just because it doesn't work the first time and you don't get a 20 grand launch the first time that you run a challenge, please don't think that it doesn't work. But if you stick with it and you refine it so that it's content that your ideal client wants, and you create something really good, then it will generate you an amazing income every single time you run it.
That's so, I think that kind of wraps it all up. I don't know if you have any other closing words for them, or I think we can end on that note because it's perfect.
No, that's amazing. Just run challenges because they are incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I'm here because of a challenge. I wouldn't be here if my mentor Lisa Torres wouldn't have run her own challenge. I would have never done Diddy. So
Wow.
they're awesome. I think they're great. And I have so many good results with them. Thank you so much, Emma, for
Thank you.
sharing all this. I know that you're gonna give us the slides, right? So we can link it
you can
below.
have the slides as well.
So don't worry, guys. You can download it below, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you, and bye-bye.
Bye.